but you keep hitting the table.
I can't help it.
You need to put your hands in your lap then.
Sit on my hands.
My mom's like,
Jeremy
sit
said
on your
I have
hands.
to sit on my hands.
You're just like,
I have to sit on my hands, apparently.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Julian.
And welcome to Watch Again Podcast. Season 2, actually. We're still in Season 2. This is awesome.
We're still in Season 2. We just started Season 2.
I know, we just started it. You know, who would have thought that, like, you know, a year ago we would have started a podcast and it'd get so popular?
I feel like it was your idea. I feel like you said...
No. This is how the podcast started. You said you wanted to do a podcast.
I did.
And I was like, well, what are we going to talk about? It'd just be two guys talking, you know? And I was just like, well, no one wants to hear me talk.
We tried that. No one wanted to hear him.
But instead we said, look, why don't we do Watch Again podcast?
Yep. Because
we were tired of trying to figure out what to watch every single week. And so that's why we made this show. For people like you who watch Amazon Prime, Hulu, you know, HBO, Netflix, you know, I always forget one.
Apple TV.
Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the rest is history. Look, we're so glad you joined us today.
Thank you.
Make sure, you know, you subscribe while you're here so you can get all of our latest updates.
Share this video.
And share the video with some friends, right? Because today we're going to tell you what we watched during the season, between season hiatus.
Actually, a lot of stuff came out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff came out. Yeah, end of the year, it happens a lot of times. But, like, we need a break, man.
Yeah, I got tired of looking at him.
That's very fair. I would get tired of looking at myself during podcast.
I don't know why you have mirrors in your home.
I do, because it's supposed to make the room look bigger.
Doesn't help your face.
So, I wrote down what I watched during the break. And look, here's what we're going to do. We'll go back and forth a little bit.
So
These are things that you got to check out, okay? And, Julian, why don't you start since you feel the need to talk so much?
Yeah, all right, I will. So, I thought I would never find anything I would like on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, you know, I'm right there with you. C was kind of a flop.
C was a flop. For All Mankind was dumb.
The morning show was just decent.
I didn't even watch that one.
You had 3 great showrunners. It was just decent.
They were all lame.
Jennifer Aniston won the Golden Globe for her portrayal.
Oh, she did?
I'm pretty sure she did, yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember.
The only one Apple.
Yeah. Hey, they got one. They did get one.
On their first year.
They did get one. That's right.
They did get that one. She's very talented. She's very good.
That was their press release. Hey, we got one.
But you're telling me that you found another Apple TV show that you actually like?
I did.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, and surprisingly, for a lot of people may not know this about me, I do like M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay, I do too. I think he's talented.
I understand that a lot of stuff that he makes isn't that great most of the time.
Did you see Lady in the Water?
I have mixed feelings about that one.
I actually kind of liked it.
I did like The Happening just because Mark Wahlberg talked to a tree, which I thought was pretty funny.
That's always good.
But he actually created a show for Apple TV Plus called The Servant.
She's cool with everything. She knows the situation.
I guess we should talk about this. She's gone. You can put the doll down now. We lost Jericho when he was 13 weeks. Dorothy took it hard. This is the only thing that brought her back.
I should take Jericho for his walk now.
And what I thought was really cool about The Servant was, number one, there's a guy in there named Julian.
Okay, yeah.
And it's played by Rupert
Grint.
Rupert Grint, yeah.
Otherwise known as Ron Weasley from Harry Potter.
The good redhead. And I didn't recognize anybody else. No. But so just so you understand, the show pretty much takes up with this husband and wife. They get a rubber baby. And essentially what has happened is his wife lost their child and she's having a really hard time dealing with that loss. And so they decided to get this rubber child to sort of replace the physical baby. Yeah. And while she sort of works through her feelings. And the way it starts is they hired a nanny for the baby.
Yeah.
And then the creepy shit happens because at the end of the first episode, the fake baby is a real baby.
That's some trippy shit, man.
It is. And so the show gets kind of scary, kind of thrilly. Yeah. And then he sort of reels it back a little bit. And for the most part, I wanted to watch every single episode. It didn't feel like C or For All Mankind where I was like, oh my God, can we just get to the freaking point?
Yeah.
I was very interested, and I was very like drawn in the entire time, which I really liked. I didn't think it ended that great.
Okay.
There were a lot more questions than answers, which is totally fine. But I feel like there was
Shyamalan, right? I feel like he spends a lot of his time trying to be like, look, I'm gonna make you ask more questions.
Yeah.
Than we give answers because he probably doesn't know.
He probably doesn't know, but there were some bigger answers that I was hoping that or bigger questions that I hope got answered. But it's okay. I really like the show. It's called The Servant. It's on Apple TV Plus.
You know, I actually never thought I'd see an Apple TV show that I was like wanting to binge.
Yeah.
But I did at the last second last week. I turned on Twitter because I work on Twitter a lot, and this show came up called Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet.
In a world of legendary heroes, one man will rise to take all of the credit.
This game has something that no one else will. Me.
I was pleasantly surprised that a show about a company that makes a video game like World of Warcraft could be exciting. And pretty much the company is like dysfunctional, like it doesn't work correctly, but they crank out this brilliant video game, and it follows the creative director and designer and like a coder who are always battling out for control of the product. It is hilarious. In fact, it's done by the creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Which, you know, if you love that kind of humor, it's going to be there for you, but it also has a little bit more depth in there as well. I don't want to give much else more away because you definitely should go into this just blind and unprepared, because I think it makes it a lot more fun. I will say I binged all 9 episodes, you know, over the course of one day.
Wow.
While I was working on a project, and it was worth it. I even went to the gym and put it on the Stairmaster so I could watch it while I was on the Stairmaster. So it was that good. And the humor is kind of like, you know, it's set up kind of like Silicon Valley and Barry, that sort of thing. And I will also say, like, the show doesn't take itself too seriously, but it tackles some very serious issues like labor issues, women's rights, women who code, for example. Like, those are things that are in there, but it's not being thrown in your face the way that we're like, oh man, I'm watching a documentary now. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Definitely worth your time. I would say definitely worth a binge on a weekend.
So that's really interesting. 2 big recommendations for Apple TV.
Isn't like, wow.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that we just have 2 random ass recommendations for Apple TV, because everything else on my list is Netflix. Actually, I've kind of covered the gambit.
Hold on, I got one more Apple TV then. Before we move on, I gotta tell you one more thing.
Oh, is this the one I told you to watch?
Yeah. Little America on Apple TV is like, what, 9 stories about 9 people who are generally first generation American and their experience in the United States, and they take their stories and they turn them into nice 35-minute packages.
That's cool.
And like, they're all different. It's amazing. There's only one episode I didn't care for because it started out in a way that I was like, what? But towards the end, it got better. Okay. So Little America, definitely worth your time. I wouldn't binge it. I'd say watch a couple episodes of Little America.
It's once in a while.
Here, once in a while. They're feel-good stories. And this is the thing. Apple said they wanted to make stories that people could relate to, that people could actually feel, and that could tell the things that amazing people are doing in the world. And I think Little America is that vision finally realized. Wow. Yeah.
It looked really nice.
It's good stuff. It's cute. It's clever. It's funny. It feels good. You're not going to feel bad watching this show.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. You had stuff from HBO and Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
I had a negative one from Amazon Prime.
Oh dear. Okay. What is it?
It's called Aeronauts.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
It wasn't good.
What's his face from the not Harry Potter movies was in it? I can't.
The not Harry Potter.
It's not. It's Harry Potter universe, but it's not Harry Potter.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. It's 2 people in a hot air balloon, and it looked kind of cool. But it just got boring.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes. I mean, people are over ambitious.
Yeah, that's what it really felt like. The higher and higher the balloon rose in the air, the more and more I didn't care.
So the more air that was left out of the TV show.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Like, the balloon sucked all the hot wind out of me.
Yeah. I will say, though, I did enjoy a Disney Plus flick. I was kind of looking for something light to watch at the end of the day, and I definitely got into Disney's Fairy Tale Weddings. Yeah. It's weird, right? But here's the thing. I'll tell you why it's good. Mm-hmm. First of all, there's no drama, and I had just finished watching The Bachelor, so drama was happening everywhere.
It's not even good drama on The Bachelor this year.
It's just like this year, mayonnaise is just awful. But here's the thing, right? The Disney Fairy Tale Weddings is pretty good because it's just these couples, they're in love, they want to have their wedding at Disney, and so they do. Okay. And then it ends happily ever after every single time.
Of course,
and the
couples
are usually pretty cool. Like, one guy, like, he loves hockey, I love hockey, so I figured we could be friends one day, so it's good to go. But Disney brought the Stanley Cup to his wedding. and he got to celebrate with the Stanley Cup. So that was pretty cool.
Are you gonna slide into his DMs on Instagram?
I'm not gonna do that because no.
Oh,
But it was kind of cool how Disney worked with him and his family because he comes from a Chinese family and she comes from a Midwest family to really integrate both those cultures to the wedding ceremony. And I thought that was kind of cool.
That is really
being
cool.
said, Disney weddings cost at a minimum $50,000. So
They're very expensive.
I will not be getting married at Disney World because that's not a good idea. But seeing these rich people do, it's pretty cool.
That's
Because
very
they
expensive.
they feel and look like down to earth. Like you're not thinking like, wow, these people are like millionaires, like My Super Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was pretty good on Disney to bring another good feel-good programming here, especially since The Mandalorian just ended and I didn't care for it. But that's my unpopular opinion.
I really like The Mandalorian.
There's only one good episode.
What?
The spaceship one. The one where they're going through the prisons.
The heist?
The heist, yeah. That's right, guys. Get your slow motion walk ready. Mandalorian episode 5.
No. The whole season was good. I really liked it. I thought the ending was really great.
You know how I feel about Baby Yoda.
Whatever. Regardless of how you feel about Baby Yoda, the ending was really strong. And it had Los Pollos Hermanos in it.
That's very true.
Coming out with a black lightsaber, which is apparently, according to Lindsay and her husband, is like a very big deal that I didn't understand.
So even I knew that was a big deal. And I don't
It just looks
Star
fucking
Wars.
cool. He's just like...
Yeah.
And he comes out with a dark lightsaber or whatever the hell it was. It was like, that's fucking cool. But you know what else was cool?
What else you watch?
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. Okay.
It's great.
That's HBO, right?
HBO.
That's my favorite channel.
So we're still following the group along as they make Pied Piper into a more real company. I don't really know how else to describe it. I mean, it's pretty much the same season as it's been every single time, except there's slightly different things happening. Literally, it's like Richard causes a problem, and then the gang has to fix it.
Oh,
like
God,
that's literally
tell me
every
more.
single episode, but it's still very entertaining.
Is it really?
Yeah,
So this is the final season of Silicon Valley, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. So another
is probably
good show
okay.
coming in, which is why I keep saying the golden age of TV is ending, people, and you need to get on board right now before it's over.
See, I would have said that with The Sopranos, but then Game of Thrones came out, but then Game of Thrones kind of ended horribly.
Yeah, it did, which is more proof of the golden age of TV. Good Place is ending, which is not a streaming show, I know, but like, come on, like some of the good shows are gone now.
We'll see what
And
happens
they're
with
not making new
Westworld.
good ones. That's the thing.
We'll see what happens with
We
Westworld.
will see. But here's the thing. I thought The Two Popes on Netflix was pretty good with Anthony Hopkins and Jonathan Pryce. It is like a look into like when Benedict the 16th and
Switch
Pope
over.
Francis like do the exchange. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to give too much away. But I thought the way Netflix approaches was great. Both actors are phenomenal, and were nominated for the show. Was of course nominated for an Academy. The movie was nominated for an Academy Award. That they did a really good job with it. I think Netflix, once again, they're proving they can make really good content.
Just can they get an award for it?
Right, but the other thing too is like the strategy they're taking is the opposite strategy. They're just making content to make content because they're hoping it sticks. And that's, every now and then they might make a Big Mouth or, I'm trying to think what the last good thing I saw, or a You, for example, which season 2 came out while we were gone, and I thought it was pretty decent.
Okay.
But it's like they're running out of ideas.
I mean, they'll just go buy more.
Hey, you know what? It's all about the money, kids.
It is all about the money, and they have a lot of it. But you know what else they made that I thought was really good, and I'm really sad that it ended? God, you're right. Everything is ending.
Right?
BoJack Horseman, final season.
Yeah. So tell me about
this
it.
was the second half of the final season, and we've watched so much stuff. I'm trying to run through the whole freaking season in my head right now. Like, okay, wait, what happened? Because it's a little bit difficult because it broke off in the middle of it. But essentially, BoJack is living the good life at Wesleyan, so he's a professor. But his past has come back to haunt him again, and so we're still following the fallout from the Sarah Lynn and her death and everything that he was involved in with it. And essentially, what happens is, and I'm not going to spoil it. Again, same season, sort of kind of repeating himself. Is BoJack has to figure out how to be a good person again.
Yeah.
And
I feel like we've done that a lot with BoJack.
It's kind of like, every ending of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is you think everything's going to be all right, and then she has to learn a life lesson.
Shy Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton shoes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
No, Judy Garland shoes.
Judy Garland shoes.
There we go. So anyway, BoJack has to figure out how to be a good person again, and the last 2 episodes they are pretty deep.
Yeah, I think we all knew BoJack was headed that direction.
Yeah,
like the deepness in the episodes. And
I have my own theory on the end.
Yeah,
but I don't want to spoil it. but I am going to spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Look,
alert.
it's flashing on the screen. Like,
I think BoJack's dead.
that would make sense.
So he has this whole big party that he has to go to because the episode prior he gets he's drowning in his pool, and like he meets all these people that are dead, and like apparently he may or may not be brought back to life. So my thought is this is either like those last like 5 minutes before he actually dies, and he's saying goodbye, or he's making amends with all the people he's ever wronged, because the last scene is him and the woman whose name I can't remember, which kind of sucks, but they sort of have this last little talk, and then they just kind of look up.
Yeah.
And then it ends.
I think it's a fitting ending. It goes to show that animated shows have a lot of potential with our demographic, and they could tell really good stories.
It's such a
people
good
brush
show.
them off. Like I brushed off Big Mouth, for example. I brushed off BoJack when it first came out. I don't need animation in my life, but I was pleasantly surprised, and I think it's been a pretty wild adventure.
Lindsay's the only reason I watched Big Mouth.
Same here. Lindsay's the only reason. She's like, hormone monster. I'm like, who the fuck cares about a hormone monster?
This is so dumb.
But look, that's all the time we have today. Look, we've given you some really good recommendations, so just take them. But look, guys, thanks for listening.
10 things.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. But look, thank you for listening. Subscribe, okay? That's the first thing you got to do. Second, leave us a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, any place we are. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment, and also tell us what you want us to watch next. And of course, don't forget to tell your friends.
Share this video.
Share it with everyone you know.
Share it
with the people you love.
Thanks,
this
everybody.
Valentine's Day. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Who the gives a fuck? I don't know how to end these things.